People want big, strong legs. One of those areas that people really struggle with growing are the calf muscles, and I'm no exception to this. If you've watched my channel for a while, I poke fun at my own calves, saying that they are baby calves. They are difficult muscles to grow, but in this video, I want to break down some of the exercise science and explain to you guys how to optimally train the calves, because there are a lot of pieces of advice that you should be hearing in order to grow your calves. So let's get right into this. Now, some people will say that calves are all genetic, and there is some truth behind that. Some people can have huge calf muscles depending on the insertion and the origin. Some people you'll see have massive calves and not even work out. Me, on the other hand, I actually have my own seated calf raise in my own home gym space because it's something I want to make sure I target. But is a seated calf raise the best way to train the calves? Let's break down some of the basic science here. The main two muscles in the calf we're going to focus on here are the gastrocnemius and the soleus. The gastrocnemius is what we call a biarticulating or two-joint muscle, meaning it crosses over the ankle and the knee joint, whereas the soleus just crosses over the ankle joint. And there's so many aspects to how we train these muscles that are different. For example, because the gastrocnemius is biarticulating, in order to properly train this muscle, you need to put it in a stretched position, which is straightening the knees. So standing calf raises or any type of straight-legged calf raise will properly train this muscle. And that's big because this is the primary muscle that makes that calf look bigger and beefier. Whereas the soleus is a deeper muscle, meaning it's underneath that gastrocnemius. And this muscle actually gets more trained when doing seated calf raises, like you can see me doing here. Now, these aren't the only factors that matter. Fiber type actually plays a pretty big role here. The gastrocnemius is about a 50-50 split of fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers. And the fast twitch muscle fibers respond more to hypertrophic stimulus, whereas slow twitch fibers are meant for more endurance. So focusing more on the gastrocnemius is going to be more beneficial for hypertrophy in the long run. But when it comes to using a lot of reps or a lot of weight, there's some interesting research that came out in 2023 where individuals did deep calf stretches and actually yielded the same results as individuals doing standard resistance training. One individual study doesn't make it conclusive, but I think this is a good win for the group that really enjoys the lengthened partials, because this is essentially going to the lengthened position and just applying resistance to a point where you're actually yielding hypertrophy. So use that however you may. Another aspect to training calf muscles is foot position and small tweaks that you can make. Here you can see me doing just basically a neutral position. This position here gives more of a balanced approach, whereas when we point our toes in, you feel it more in the lateral head or the outer portion of the calf. And when we have toes pointed out, you'll hit more of the medial head, the inner portion of the calf. Now, on top of all these great tips and tricks, there's a few key points that we need to remember to stay focused with. The first key point here is consistency, making sure you're training that muscle more than just 1 month on, 1 month off, making sure that you're doing it for a few months at a time and keeping after it. And the second of these 2 points is that the calf is a rather small muscle. It can be trained rather frequently. So instead of just doing once or maybe twice a week, you do have the capability of training the calf muscle 3, maybe even 4 times a week. Although you should approach this with some relative understanding that if you can't recover in time, if those muscles are still sore, you might be overdoing it. But knowing this can allow us to mix in a little bit more frequency. So to summarize here, if you're trying to grow bigger calves, straight-legged movements are going to be key here. Making sure we're targeting the gastrocnemius. You can go with a heavier load or you can go with a lighter load, whatever you prefer, as long as you're getting a good range of motion with a good deep stretch. I would even focus on mixing in some stretching at the end as an additional way to increase hypertrophy. You can try some different toe positions, but overall a lot of this is going to come down to genetics, but that doesn't mean you still can't grow the calf muscles. It just might not be as advantageous as it is for others. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like, subscribe to the channel. YouTube thinks that this video right up here is best for you of my content, so click that and help a brother out and hit that like button to help this get pumped out to more people and grow this channel. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day. We'll see you next week.